This is the Ohio Adult Allies Podcast. Welcome. Here, our mission is to develop, inspire, and empower youth leaders. Our topic for today is Youth-Infused Community Coalition's Perspectives from the Coalition Directors, with special guests Meagan Joseph and Mollie Stevens. Now here's our host, Mackenzie Kay.
Hello, welcome to the Ohio Adult Allies Podcast. My name is Mackenzie Kay, and I'm an undergraduate junior at Ohio University, studying community and public health. I also work as a research scholar at the Voinovich School of Leadership and Public Service here at OU. I'm excited to share a conversation about youth-infused coalitions. But before we start, why don't we introduce Meagan and Mollie from Impact Prevention. Why don't you both tell me a little bit about yourself? What is your preferred name, pronouns, and relationship with the River Hills Prevention Connection?
My name is Mollie Stevens. Pronouns are she, her, and I have been a member of the River Hills Prevention Coalition. Oh, let's see. Gosh, how long has it been around? I've been with the coalition since before it was named. We renamed ourselves. So anyway, long time.
Hi, my name's Meagan Joseph, she, her, and I work with the River Hills Prevention Connection in the capacity of the coordinator. I've been working at Impact and with the coalition for about 4 years. Thank you both. And my pronouns are she, her as well. I'm excited to have you both here today to talk about youth-infused coalitions. It is my understanding that in Ohio, while there are many coalitions that focus on mental and behavioral health, youth involvement in such coalitions has varied. So the term we are introducing in the series is youth-infused coalitions. We've said it a few times now, but I wanted to dive into that a little deeper. I looked up the definition of infused in Merriam-Webster, and it means to be permeated with something that alters, usually for the better. Do you find that this definition relates to your coalition?
I feel it does. Our coalition, as adults, we focus on a lot of things, problems of practice around our young people. Underage drinking is one that we're working on, in addition to suicide. And in order to be able to hit the mark, so to speak, with the population that you're working with, you need to have their voice at the table. The state of Ohio has the motto, nothing for us without us. And I think that when it comes to, any population you're working with, if you're working with seniors, you need to bring seniors in and get their opinions. If you're working with high school kids, you need a high school opinion. And it's very humbling. I tell them they're our coworkers in our work, and we couldn't do our work without them. So.
Yeah. So what were some of the obstacles you experienced when first infusing youth into this work?
Our young people are busy. So a lot of times we will have different voices at the table because, they are busy, which is good. It's a good thing that they're into a lot of things. And then, our adults was very open and excited to have the young people at the table and learn from them and hear their thoughts and voices. So I think we were really blessed. I don't know if it's just where we're from, a small community, or if it's our Appalachian roots, but I do believe that our young people were very well accepted and valued at the table, always. So.
And I would say also just making sure that we're giving as much support as we can. The young people have come to the table really excited to be engaged and to be approached with the work. But we want to make sure that we're also being as supportive as we can so that they can succeed and so that the coalition can succeed as well. Yeah. So how would you say that you support youth as they enter such heavy subject matter surrounding mental health and suicide prevention?
We do our best to make sure that our young people have knowledge and skills around whatever it is that we're looking into. Meagan does QPR. She's working in our schools with sources of strength. So our young people are getting training and learning how to accentuate the positive and those sorts of things. So we wouldn't send them into a battle without some type of preparation. So,
and I think that's really the beauty of youth-led, is that it prepares young people for larger tasks in their lives. And so through the process of youth-led, they learn about the strategic prevention framework, and they learn about the CSAP strategies. They learn about all these things, and then they're better equipped to actually approach these larger topics because they're looking at the data, they're going through the technical process, whether they really feel that, oh, this is really academic. They don't really, in our experience, the youth don't approach it that way. They're excited to be involved. They're excited to have this approach that we have. And so youth led really lends itself well to increasing coalition capacity in terms of youth infusion.
Yeah, thank you for that. What would you say the working relationship between adult mentors and youth look like?
Through the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation, we were involved in the community coalition action theory development. And through this, we actually got the young people on board and brought them into the process and talking about the coalition and showing the history and what the framework is that we go through. And when we engaged in this process, it was kind of seamless. Our adults, and I think by nature of the development of the coalition, having the goals of improving our community, and we know that the youth are the foundation of our community, it just seemed very organic. The adults kind of accepted the young people as just another voice. There wasn't a whole lot of like, while we provided the support, the adults really came to the table with them as equals. And I think that's one of the, like Mollie said, our community is very close knit and we're very grateful for that. And so they, both parties on each side really made it a simple process.
Fantastic. So I've heard a few times now that the adults were actually like really excited for the youth to come on board. So did you find that you had to support new adult mentors at all when engaging with youth? And if so, what did that look like?
I think by showing the adults and the youth on both sides. So when we're doing our coalition work, we're looking at data. It's kind of like the adult version of youth led. And then we have the youth led teams. And so I think that because they're looking at the same goals, and in a lot of times they're looking at the exact same data, and we kind of explain that and preface that with them, they're able to come to the table as equals more in that way because they're on the same playing field to begin with the structure that they have. And so by us providing the adults with the same resources as the youth are getting, then I feel that they're both likely to be supported and having that like preface.
Since you've infused youth into the coalition, has there been any sort of big like aha moment, like this is it since starting this infusion?
I would say the CCAT process. And then we also did, with the support of the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation, a community readiness assessment. And by just having these larger projects, so not just the day-to-day coalition work, but by having these larger projects, and even though we understand the value of youth voice, and I think that through coalition work and the youth-led prevention programming, that youth know that their voice is heard as well. But through these larger projects where we end up with a product, we end up with the CCAT document, when we end up with this community readiness assessment and then a plan to increase community readiness, I think everyone has this feeling of ownership and success breeds success. And so knowing that we can move forward from that and do great things together.
Yeah, I really like the success breeds success motto. I think that's really powerful. What would you say is the biggest thing that youth have taught you both since infusing them?
I think that working with our young people, when we painted a mural on the flood wall, um, and it's for people to know that they belong and that the world needs them. And I remember thinking back in my mind, oh my gosh, that's such a huge project. How are we going to do that? But over spring break, we had a group of young people that showed up and some community people that showed up. And you know what? It's beautiful. And I think that young people teach me daily that there's not anything that we can't tackle together. And that, you have to take one step at a time, that we'll get there. So they give me hope. And I would say, and this is kind of Mollie's motto too, is to trust the process, is to know that they show every time they come to the table that they can do it and they can move that bar forward. And sometimes they can really show us to believe in ourselves when they're out there doing the work and we see them doing the bulk of it. So when they did this mural, the youth had their voice and it was their idea to put the mural in the flood wall. It was their idea for the things that they wanted to see on it. They decided they wanted it to be interactive. And when they have all these ideas, I feel that it's easier for us to trust the process and know that if they can do it, we can do it too, surely. And I think that that's a really powerful thing that all youth have the capacity to teach to adults like us.
Thank you both so much for that. What would you say to someone looking to get involved with Youth-Infused coalition work?
I would say if you want to do your coalition justice, to get youth on board because they are the foundations of our community. That's how our community is going to move forward is with young people. And so I feel that in order to have the most success and to help support the success of young people, youth have to be at the table. It really shouldn't be an option to forget their voice because again, it's foundational to our work.
Yes, I agree. Like I said, coalitions typically will always focus on something in their community or often focus on an issue in their community that have to do with young people. And you can't know what is the best way to handle any type of issue if you're not part of that population. So I think that they are key for coalitions to have on board.
So with it, I think the biggest advice we can offer is just go for it. Go for it. Trust the process. You're going to see positive results.
Fantastic. As we wrap up, do either of you have any closing remarks?
I'd just like to say thank you to the young people that might be watching this, or thank you to the young people that work with us and who are out there doing the work, because that we learn from them and our coalition grows from them. And so I just want to express this gratitude that I have for all of the young people who are involved in youth-led programming and the hard work that goes into it.
Yes, I agree. I was in a meeting the other day with Meagan, actually, and was asked who would be a mentor that I looked up to. And I told our young people that it would be our young people because we learn from them. And we can't do anything that we have on our plate without them. So. Well, thank you both so much, Mollie and Meagan, for coming in today, for having this conversation with me and allowing our viewers a peek into the things that you have learned from your youth. As for our viewers, if you would like to check out more about Ohio Adult Allies, please go to ohioadultallies.com or check out the YouTube page under Ohio Adult Allies to see more.
We would like to say thank you to our special guests. For more information about their organizations, feel free to use the information on the screen or below in the description. Thank you to our listeners. This has been the Ohio Adult Allies Podcast. For more episodes, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and more. You can also find our episodes and more information about us on our website, ohioadultallies.com. And again, thank you.